Hello and welcome. This is Elena Valdez, and you are watching the reading for the Scorpio child. So if you are a parent and or guardian of a Scorpio child, this reading is for you. And once again, I'd like to ask to please subscribe, comment, like if you like the channel. And I'm going to be using the MONSTAROT deck again this month because I love it, and it very much captures the essence of that child energy that we're trying to tap into here. So I'm going to pull 3 positions. So the spread consists of 3 positions, and I will end with one final advice card for you, the parent. I have already pre-shuffled the cards, but as always, I like to do it in front of you. And again, this is for the Scorpio child. Okay, let's get started. So the first position here is, what is the Scorpio child experiencing during the month of November? So what is your Scorpio child experiencing during the month of November? And that was fast, but okay, wonderful. And the second question is, what is the potential challenge, or what are potential challenges that your Scorpio child may be facing during the month of November? That's already a great card to start out with, by the way. I'll show it to you in just a bit. Okay, so what's a potential challenge? Oops, too many cards. These cards are a bit big. Okay, potential challenge. Let's see. That was not a flip. Okay, I think I'm going to pull one. Potential challenge that the Scorpio child may be facing during the month of November. Maybe there's no challenge. One more shuffle. Oh, there it is. Aren't these cards great? Love them. Okay, and the next question, which I feel is the most important question of the spread, is what does the Scorpio child need most from his, her, their parent or guardian? Yes, most important question, right? What does your little Scorpio child need most from you? That is the main question for the month of November, or during the month of November. And there we go. Oh, 2 cards. Okay, yes, I'll take them. Oh, that's so sweet. Okay. So the first position, the Ace of Pentacles. So your little Scorpio is coming into a lot of new manifestations during the month of November. So there are a lot of new tangible accomplishments that your little one is going through in the month of November. And he, she, they are feeling quite proud, right? And feeling good about what they're creating as well. So, you know, generally the Ace of Pentacles is all things material. It can also be a very spiritual. Pentacles is also very spiritual, but it's basically our resources, right? Our time, our efforts, all of those things that convert energy into currency, right? And obviously for children, it's going to be a little different than how we look at it as an adult, or what we would be going through as an adult. So here it could be as simple as being very proud of the assignments that they're turning into their classrooms, and the work that they're creating, and the things that they're learning in the household with you, but also things that they're building with their hands, and how, just in general, how they're doing in the world, how they are, the productivity that they're putting out into the world with their energy and their own resources, right? Meaning their effort and energy. And so you have a little one here who is very, very content with what he's putting out there and has the support. You see this little one here? That could even represent a sibling or a friend along their side who's being a bit of a helper or, companion in all the things that he, she, they are doing. It's quite beautiful. And it's also about new things, new challenges, like good challenges, right? That are coming up. And also new experiences that are helping your little guy learn his or her strengths. That's very beautiful. It's very positive. Scorpios in general, all ages, are having a lot of transformation going on. And so this is huge. Okay, so let's move on to the potential challenge. So, there could be moments because your child is, doing so much here. There could be moments of needing to just isolate, withhold himself from, maybe even not allowing himself to be out and play with others. You see, you have these 4 cups that this tree is offering. Like, here, come play with me. Have some of this. Let's have some fun. Let's be creative. And he's like, nope, leave me alone. So the challenge that your little one may be facing during the month of November is the sense that not knowing how to be out in the world with others while learning these new things or gaining these new accomplishments, right? Like perhaps, they're learning so many new things that they don't know how to come out of themselves, because they probably are having a ton of fun doing whatever it is they're doing. And either this can indicate they need a timeout because their output is quite busy, like they're actually putting out a lot of their own resources and energy into the world, that they can hit a wall at one point where they actually just want to just leave me alone, let me just withdraw a bit and isolate, because it can get a bit much, right? Or it could be the opposite, or the first scenario that I was talking about earlier, that they don't really know how to balance that. And so they just isolate. Okay, so you'll know how this resonates. But this is important for you to know too, right, as the guardian, because you can be on the lookout for that. Like, while you are observing this beautiful manifestation all around your little one and they're proud of it, see also if there are hints of not knowing how to share that. Because this is also about withholding, not just withholding yourself, but also withholding whatever resources you have gained, right? So it could be that not only are they not accepting what's being offered from their playmates, their siblings, and their parents, but it can also be that one of the reasons they're not receiving is because they don't want to share whatever it is that they have going on. So that's something to be on the lookout for as the parent. And that's what I love about these readings, is that you get a little glimpse of what could potentially come up. And so you have an opportunity to sort of look out for it and just see if you see hints of it, so that you can, help correct that or help your child navigate it differently. So this is a challenge in the challenge position. And, and in general, when it's not in the challenge position, it's not, it's usually almost means the same thing. Okay, so let's move on with, let's see, what do we have here? What your child needs most from you. Yeah, so this makes a lot of sense, because you start out here with the Page of Wands, right? And the page is just learning how to be in his or her own little body, right? Because the wands represents our physicality, it represents our energy, it represents our creativity, represents our output into the world, all that good stuff. And so the page is about the beginning of that, or learning how to be in that essence. So there's an indication here, and it could be the age, right, that you're here for. Like, it could be that they're maybe the accomplishment here is that they just graduated from one grade level, they're moving into another, and they're learning. They're learning how to be their own little successful little guy, right? And with that comes a lot of confusion and needing to isolate a bit. So if you're getting the Page of Wands here in the what they need the most from you, is your little one really needs you to facilitate this new little identity, if you will, to help them navigate through that transition. They're going through some kind of transition here, and it's all new for them, right? So part of this is taking action, because the Wands is about action. So the Pentacles is about achieving. Cups is about, you're in your emotion here. So what your child needs most from you is to create some kind of outlet that physically allows them to shift this energy. That could be as simple as taking them to the park so they can play, right? And again, this is going to depend on what age your child is. But the point here is that they're learning. It's almost like they're learning how to walk again, or they're learning how to, make new friends, because they never had to go into a new classroom and make new friends. And yes, they've accomplished a lot. In November, definitely, they're learning a lot they're learning a lot about their new resources, but it's still new for them. They're still learning how to be in that energy. So this is where you come in. You come in to help them with that. And it's indicated here with the Lovers as well. And again, obviously we're reading this from the perspective of the child, right? So this is not the Lovers in a romantic context. This is the Lovers in the partnership aspect. And see here, it looks like it's more of a grown-up and a child. And it's about partnering up with your child to partnering up with them and getting to know this new way of being in the world. I'm also picking up, it's almost like when, and this is only going to resonate with maybe one or two of you, but it's almost as if there is a physical change that has happened here. Either your child all of a sudden grew 3 inches in the past month, or maybe their braces got taken off. There's something here that has shifted the way they either look physically, the way they move physically. Like maybe they, couldn't walk as well before, and now they're walking. Or with the Lovers, this is Gemini, which represents speech and communication. So maybe now they're learning to communicate in a different way. Maybe they've moved to a different part of the world where they have to learn a different language. And yes, they're being successful, but it's isolating them. And then one way too, because of difficulty in meeting friends. And they're coming into this new manifestation, this new way of being. And you're needed here as the guardian to help them navigate that huge transition. This is something they can't do alone. They need you. They need the partnership here of the parents. So this could also, the Lovers can also represent the parents in the household. Okay, so it requires your nurturing love together to get him through this. And please remember, when I say him, her, this is not gender-based. I just use certain pronouns just to help ease the read for me. But this is not gender specific. So please apply it however you need it applied to for your own household and your child. Okay, so this is definitely, I'm feeling very, very strongly that even if your child thinks they need to, because little Scorpios sometimes want to be left alone and they want independence, right? But even if your child thinks they can do this on their own, really, really what they need deep down inside is your support. This is something that they need you to help him or her with in terms of this new transition they're going through. Okay, and with that said, let's pull your advice from Spirit. Spirit, what advice do you have? Hold on, let me fix this. This is not. Okay. So, Spirit, what advice? And obviously the advice is in relationship to the reading. to your child, I mean. So what advice do you have for the guardian of the Scorpio child during the month of November? What advice do you have? What advice do you have? You know, I just picked up too that, whew, that one flew, didn't it? I just also picked up that there could be a handful of you here dealing with a little guy who feels lonely. So maybe you have an only child who hasn't necessarily, you know, because of depending on where you are in the world with the pandemic and all that stuff, all that not so great stuff that we have to deal with right now. Maybe that, you know, means that they haven't been able to see their little friends. And although they are able to accomplish a lot of new things on their own because there are maybe not a lot of distractions, they're also feeling lonely at the same time. And again, but it still doesn't take away from what I was saying earlier, that they're coming into this new way of being in the world, right? So they need you to navigate. Anyway, I just felt a little bit of sadness there from a lonely little Scorpio, but remember, you're the remedy. And even the love that you have with your spouse, significant other, or the other parent can be the remedy here. Okay, so you got the Knight of Shells. That's a beautiful card, which in the traditional deck, this is the Knight of Cups. Look how beautiful that is. And the keywords there are charm and passion. So in terms of the advice here, and generally, usually, not always, but usually in this spread that I'm doing here for the Child's Tarot, the advice card is directly linked to the challenge, right? Or directly linked as a way to remedy the challenge. And it's interesting because the shells is about love and expression and passion, and you have that here with lovers as well. So, you know, and then you have cups here, but this is a withholding emotion, right? Withholding oneself. And the Knight of Shells does the opposite of withholding. The Knight of Shells offers love and passion and charm and affection. And in terms of a child context, it could very much indicate, not can, it is, it very much indicates that your child needs a little bit more of affection and love from you than usual. I'm not saying that you don't already do that. I'm just saying that in November, your child's facing some vulnerabilities right now. So they really need you to just show them love more than usual. But also not just show them the love. Well, whoever you are partnered up with here, your spouse or the other child's parent, if they are in the picture, showing, you know, expressing love for the child through their other parent as well. Even if you're separated from the other parent, showing that love and respect. There's something about that that's going to make them feel a little more secure in this new transition that they're going through. So the Knight of Shells is just, you know, a reminder as your advice card to love him up more than usual. Continue to offer the cup, because the Knight offers the cup of love. The Four of Cups withholds and rejects the cup of love. So what Spirit is saying here is, no matter how often you encounter your child rejecting your cup of love and offer towards him or her, to continue offering it. Like, don't feel bad. I mean, of course, you may feel bad if your child doesn't want to hug you because he wants you to stay away, but just don't give up. Keep trying, because that's really what they need. And that's the advice from Spirit. Not only does Your little one need it, but you need it as well. Okay, so there's a love here that your child needs to see and receive in order for them to not reject. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to be an interesting month for your Scorpio child. You're gonna have some little bit of a tug of war there with emotions, but at the end of it, you're going to come out of it very, very nicely here. Remember, there's another person here that's a part of this formula that needs to also show their love and affection, not just to your little one, but also to you. Okay, I hope that helps someone. I hope that made sense. And I'm going to leave it here. And I'm wishing you all a beautiful November. And I hope you come back next month. Okay, thanks a lot. Bye.